Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Stranded Survivors. My name is Matt. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm back, baby.
Yes, Matt's back. Let's give him a warm welcome. I am your host, Jericho, alongside Matt. And Matt, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here, feeling positive. I've been killing stuff in school. Been really busy this summer, so that's why I've sort of been not as present. For those of you that didn't know, just been taking a lot of classes, working a lot, and being a dad and all that. So it takes up a whole lot of time. I had a little health scare recently. Spent a little bit of time in the old hospital. Came home from work one day, was feeling totally fine, and all of a sudden I just got really lightheaded and dropped. I got rushed in, and it was presenting as a heart attack. I had a crazy blood pressure. My heart rate was 149, 150. And we were pretty positive that I was having some heart issues. And after a brief little stay there, they decided that my heart was looking good enough to send me home. Didn't end up being a heart attack. Still have no clue what happened, but it was the most wild thing. But I am glad to be here and be healthy. What's new with you, man?
Honestly, I would say not a whole lot, but have been semi busy lately with on the 3rd this month, on June 3rd. My wife and I, we're celebrating our year anniversary.
Woo! Happy anniversary!
Thank you. And so really we've been doing that. We went to a baseball game, went to the movies. We went golfing for the first time together. Let's just say if you are a golfer, we golfed 9 holes and got plus 6 or 7, which is absolutely terrible.
What? I was gonna say that's so good.
But we golfed, and it was actually really fun. And my wife kind of started driving. I think she's gonna be driving better than me by the end of it. But overall, just been working, hanging out with the wife, and that's really it. And been playing Ark, over here every once in a while. I've been playing some Ark.
Yes, play it where you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you guys are having a good time and finding some mutual interests to bond over.
That's always fun.
Well, awesome, man. Have you been playing Ark lately? You been putting some time in, or?
Yeah, honestly, I've been putting a decent amount of time in on the PvP, which I'm still gonna. There's someone messaged me from the podcast and wanted to play PvP with me. So when a server wipes and I have an extra room, I'm inviting him. But so I was playing the other day though, and forced PvP, and a server just wiped. It was a little bit ago, and built in this little custom cave on Elite Ark, and I don't even know how it happened, but we only had 4 turrets up because we just started. Okay. And I promise you, this guy literally, I went to go pick him off of whatever, and he literally parachuted after I dropped him and shot me about 10 times with a fabricated sniper, did not miss one shot, and killed me. I kind of felt like he was hacking, but it's a little wild.
Either he was hacking or he's a legend. Either way, yeah. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But no, other than that, man, yeah, I've been, I checked out the center a little bit. Honestly, I've not checked out everything new yet. I've still been playing the island a little bit when I do play, because you just get so used to a map, and you're like, wow, this map, it's just my home. It's where I know how to get all the resources. It's easier to get all of them here. But I mean, so far, what I've seen about the center has been, absolutely awesome.
Dude, I am so happy that it finally dropped. I am so excited. The first, I have not had enough time to dedicate enough time to have explored the center to really, be able to sit here and report and be like, oh, yeah, so according to latitude 47. But, the little bit of time that I have spent here has been amazing. They have done it justice, and I am currently a cute little beach bob named Tater Tot, and I am in the process of trying to earn my way up to get a flyer and go someplace else,
Yeah, honestly, I am kind of in the same boat. I recently... I do not play a lot of PvE, but just kind of before we started recording here, I did hop on the server, and I'm not going to lie, since I haven't hopped on in a long time on our server, it did take me about 20 minutes to download all the mods because I did not know there was about like 25 mods on the server.
Dude, I know. I didn't either. And when I went to go download them all, I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. I'm going to go play the center for a little bit before bed the other night. And I saw those mods, and I was equally surprised and excited. Because, I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff on there now. BC is doing a really good job making sure everything stays balanced.
Yeah, honestly, that man has been killing it. And now, if you guys didn't know, we officially have launched our center server. And BC, who ran our island server, is just voluntarily, helping us with the center server and just running everything. Like Matt said, really smooth. So just straight up shout out to BC. Make sure you guys shout him out in the Discord too. That man is a legend.
Absolutely. So, the center, man. That's the main bread and butter for today. Where do we begin? Are we gonna start with the Dino dossier? Do you have one for us, or should I pull one up?
So I'll give you time just to pull that up, but I got something to say here. So just so everyone knows, even though we're like 6 minutes in here, this episode is 100% unedited.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I hope you guys are all ready for the ride because, we just want to get the content out to you guys because we didn't post one last week. It's like wild card. You just randomly disappear this week, and then the next week you appear back up, right? Except we will be posting next week too, so don't worry. We're not just going to, keep leaving you guys hanging here.
I don't know. If we want to stick authentic to the wildcard experience, we could very easily promise them an episode next Wednesday and then wait until Friday to post it.
Ooh, we could.
Given the old wildcard experience. All right, folks, I got the dossier here. I figure since it's the center, we got some new stuff going on that we don't really, have the ability to talk about yet. But what we can talk about is the Shastosaurus. I originally, I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't that excited for the Shastosaurus just because the last time we talked about it, we didn't really know a whole lot about it. But Shastosaurus carmentellum from the late Triassic period, it's a carnivore, and it has a curious temperament. This odd variant of Shastosaurus seems as curious about humans as its distant relative Ichthyosaur. It sure got my attention when one of these sea monsters swam up to have a look at me. Luckily, its bulk turns out to be worse than its bite. Shastosaurus has weaponized the ultrasonic chirps it uses for echolocation. It can focus those sounds into a tight cone that disorients prey, or widen the effect to blast apart a school of fish in concussive waves. Dang. Domesticated. Taming a Shastosaurus was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I brought along some ichthyosaur pals to entertain their larger cousin while I scraped some of its While I scraped some of its itchy barnacles off with a sickle. From then on, I had a gigantic escort in deep water. Some tribes managed to kit out their finny friend with a periscope, torpedo bays, and even a cargo hold. It's a freaking bionic submarine. Those Shastosaurs end up looking like something from an old kids cartoon with cavemen who turned dinos into cars and submarines. Hashtag Flintstones reference. Love, Helena. That sounds wild, dude. That's wild. They had me at larger cousin of the ichthyosaur because, I got a soft spot for things in the ocean that don't want me to die. So That's pretty cool, actually. I'm pretty excited about one of these.
Yeah, honestly. So I'm pretty excited about this too. You don't have to pay for it unlike some creatures.
Yeah,
No.
Don't even get me started on that. I'll go on a 10-minute rant.
But overall, I mean, I don't know if you've seen, did you know that they changed the design for it?
I did not.
So I don't know if you remember the original design, but the original design was that you could live in it and you would the saddle was on top of the dino and you could live in it, right?
Yeah, like a bubble base.
Yeah. So now they now put it on the bottom, like the lower, like the belly, and you can live in it then.
I like that better.
Really?
I mean, think about it logically. Look at it from a scientific standpoint. If it's the cousin of the ichthyosaur, that means it's a dolphin, has to breathe air, and if you have a base on top of its back, it would make it harder for it to come up for air, whereas, theoretically, I guess you could mess with the oxygen levels below it, and it could act like a float almost to push it up to go get some air.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't even think about that.
He's a man of science. That's pretty cool. Let's see. The wiki does not have the most complete information on it. Like, they haven't filled out the combat drops. They haven't filled out its abilities or behaviors. The only thing that it goes into detail about are some notes and then the taming. So, just for clarification, if you want to tame one of these bad boys, you got to ride an ichthyosaurus, one of those cute little dolphins. You got to lure it up to the surface, and once up top, dismount it. Then you got to use that sickle to remove the 3 leeches indicated on the sides of the Shastosaurus, after which you can feed it taming food and repeat this process until tamed. It does not specify what the taming food is, but being a carnivore, it would, lead me to believe that it would be relatively close to the same process as an ichthyosaur.
Yeah, that'd be my assumption too.
Let's see. Yeah, it talks about how the reference to the kids' cartoon with the submarines and dino cars is for the Flintstones. I think we all picked that up.
Mm-hmm.
It says that the Shastosaurus, fun fact, is the first aquatic creature to win a creature vote. That surprises me.
Yeah, I do think that, there's not a lot of, people don't like to mess with the underwater, just like, you hate the underwater, and I think you hate everything to do with it. So, I think that's probably why.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess it's really not the most popular. The only time I, if I'm, sometimes in those days you wake up and you're like, I'm in the mood for a scary movie. I just want to be spooked and feel unsafe. And those are the days where I like to go explore the ocean.
Yeah. That's fair, to be honest.
Huh. Well, that is all the information that I've got on the Shastosaur for now, folks, but I am excited enough about it that I'm probably going to tame one. I'm not going to be so bold as to say I'm going to tame one before the next episode, but I'm going to say in the next few weeks I'm going to tame one and mess around with it a little bit, and I will have some more to report.
So, Matt, I mentioned a little bit about aid dinos, right? I know
yeah.
they're your favorite. I know, right? So, do you know what dino I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, the Pyromane?
Yes, I didn't know if, you looked into it or not. Matt,
Oh, yeah.
that's ridiculous to me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not necessarily there for microtransactions or pay-to-win things, especially in Ark. But this to me is like a whole nother level of pay to win. I've heard the things absolutely OP and different things. I've not necessarily seen a bunch on it, but from what I've seen, this dino should not, everyone should have access to this. And I don't know, it's just very frustrating.
It is extremely frustrating. And you got me on my soapbox and on my high horse here, so everybody buckle up because we're going for a ride now. So I think it's bullcrap. This is main game content. This is not something that is so wild and different like the Oasisaur that it deserves to be a paid DLC. It's not a train. It is literally, I'm gonna say it. A bold opinion here. This is nothing but a fancy reskin of the Ferox. Am I wrong?
I think you're right, to be honest.
So they literally took a main game thing that we already had. They reskinned it, and now they're selling it to us for $5. So I saw something on Reddit because, this is like a thing that I get bummed about microtransactions in games. Like, sell me a whole pizza. I don't want to buy a pizza and then have to pay you extra to get my toppings. That's baloney. I understand that's how... Okay, maybe that's a bad model because that's how pizza places work. So never mind. Scratch that. Ignore that. You get what I'm saying, though. This is just a business model. They're testing it right now. This is a test. Mark my words. They're doing this cutesy little creature for $5 to see if it's going to work. And then you're going to see paid cosmetics like Fortnite. You're going to see paid level cap boosts. You're going to see, $5 here to be able to get 5 more levels. And before you know it, you're going to have people that are running around level 250. And it's going to be pay to win. You're literally going to create a culture of pay to win or pay for an advantage. And for PvP games, that doesn't work. For PvE, whatever, to each their own. You want to spend your money and get ahead, I guess, whatever. But, for PvP, that can destroy the game.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's what makes me even more frustrated, such as a PvP player here. The small fan base we do got. I definitely want your guys' opinion on this new dino. I mean, a lot of you might have bought it, but I don't know. It's a big game changer for PvP, like Matt said. Like Matt said, PvE, like each their own, kind of whatever. Like it is what it is. You're not battling someone. It's just like a cool dino you have that over someone, right? But PvP, it is such a game changer, and jeez, this should be just allowed for everyone. And I got really nothing to say because of how frustrating it is that I know they're going to continue this no matter what. So it's just very frustrating to me.
And that's the only reason I won't buy it. I have seen in the Discord there have been a few people that have raved about it, talking about how OP it is, how great it is. It is a fantastic idea that sounds like it was executed relatively well. There's a hiccup that I've been reading about that apparently when you breed them, you can't claim the babies, so that
Huh.
effectively makes them breedably unbreedable, because you can
Yeah.
breed them, but you can't claim the baby. So they're technically breedably unbreedable, which is, a weird thing that you're going to charge someone $5 for something that's broken when it should have been main game content anyway, since, broken stuff gets released all the time.
Yep.
So it's just it's a culture they're creating. It sounds like an amazing creature, and I really, really, really want it because it sounds awesome, but I absolutely refuse to pay for it because it is going to set the tone for them that this is a viable business strategy that Ark players are interested in. And personally, it's not a strategy that I'm interested in.
Yeah. Not at all. And like you said, I'm not like mad at anybody that bought it. Just me
Absolutely.
personally, I'm not buying it and I'm not spending my money on that. And
No, it's
I
a
don't know.
it's an easy boycott. I'm just gonna boycott it personally. And if one person boycotts it, it's not really gonna make too much of a difference. But if we get enough people that say, hey, we're not gonna do that, then hopefully they would listen.
Yeah. I mean, you would hope so, right? But you never know with wildcard because I don't think anybody wanted them to do this in general. But I think they're so low on funds that it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what's the old phrase? Wish in one hand and poop in the other, and figure out which one fills up faster. So, just gonna wish I may, wish I might, wish upon a star tonight. But I think that given the culture of gaming, that's where we're going. I mean, we're going towards, as gamers, we're going towards a direction where you don't even own your games anymore. Like, did you know that if you buy a digital copy of a game, that you do not own that game?
Really?
I just learned this the other day because Joe Daddy and I, Steven, we game share and we buy everything virtually. And
Hmm.
legally speaking, because I took the law classes last semester, so I learned all this like fun things to read in the fine print and learn how I'm getting screwed out of things in life. And that is one of the things. Like, you literally are renting a license to borrow that, and it is revocable at any point in time. So you can spend, $69.99 on a brand new video game, and if you get the digital copy, you have purchased a license, and legally speaking, that company can decide to cancel that license 10 minutes later if they want to.
Really? That's kind of crazy. I mean, most people don't do that, but that is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm sure that there's like more to it, and I'm not fully understanding the situation, but that's what I was reading, and then I actually confirmed it with a GameStop employee the other day when I was in there, and they were like, "Yeah, that's pretty much true." So I'm not sure where the gray area and pretty much is, but it's enough that it's the culture of gaming, man. We don't own anything anymore, and we're gonna pay more, pay more, pay more, and before you know it, you've spent $180 on a free game.
I mean, you're not wrong to be honest. And yeah, things are just becoming more and more just either pay to win or just like microtransactions and different things like that. Things are becoming more expensive. It sucks. I mean, what games used to be $60, man, they're all like 80 to 100 now. Like, man.
Yeah, they used to be cheaper than that. I remember at one point when my geriatric butt would go into Kmart and buy a GameCube game, they were like $49.99 or $39.99 at one point. But I
Oh,
understand, like, things have significantly better graphics. The value is better. Unreal Engine 5 provides a significantly better value for my experience than the GameCube did, obviously. But
yeah.
it's just the 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 direction of them just milking us, I guess. I feel violated, man. I feel like a cow, like I'm just getting milked all the time. And fast food prices are increasing, video game prices are increasing, like DLCs are becoming more and more common. And, I can rant about it all day. It's just frustrating. And maybe it's just because I'm old, man. I sound like one of those people that, the reason kids are problematic these days is because they don't have chalk dust on their fingers. I mean, that's how I feel like I sound.
No, but I think you're right though, man. I think maybe our community will agree or maybe not. It's a, kind of a good question for everyone is like, what's your guys' opinion on, microtransactions, games and everything just becoming more expensive? Like, I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on that. So make sure you guys let us know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what everybody thinks. Please let me know if I'm being a Karen. Every now and then I need to get checked.
So really quickly, while we're kind of on this topic, something that I didn't know with Bob's Tales, right, is that um you can like dig treasure under the ground. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, like so I was playing with a guy in PvP. This was actually probably a month or two ago, really when it first came out, right? And this guy made a shovel and he dug a treasure chest underground. So like if someone was to raid my base, I could put all my cryopods in this treasure and nobody would know it's there.
Unless they had the Bob's thing, right?
Unless they had the Bob's Tales, and then they can eventually find like they can dig it up or like find a treasure map.
See that right there? Boom. You just solidified the fact that in PvP, if you are better off than me financially and you can afford that DLC, you now make yourself unrateable just because I can't afford that DLC. That is paying to win.
Yep, and 100%, I agree. And it actually made me very frustrated because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna raid someone, and they're all gonna have all their loot hidden all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it creates the culture where either you don't raid people and you don't play PvP, or you purchase it. So you're cornered. You're forced into purchasing it.
Yes, very much so. So yeah, that's just kind of frustrating to me. I just had to bring that up, just due to what we were talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? It is a good business strategy to increase their cash inflows. I just don't think it is a good way to build trust with a brand. Is really what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, which is understandable to be honest.
But I mean, I digress. I don't want everyone to we're doing that thing again. I don't want everyone to think that we hate Wildcard and hate Ark because
Yep.
I love the content that they're putting out. They work really really hard and they're trying to, get a justifiable reimbursement for their efforts and the time they're spending away from their family for us to get something enjoyable. So we got to remember that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still love the game. They delayed Center only one day. I mean, granted, they technically delayed it a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but either way, they just delayed it a day after that came out. Yes, there's a lot of bugs and different things, but honestly, from what I've seen, and with whatever they've been banging out updates like insane, and honestly, they've been more community involvement as of recent, kind of since the last time we talked about that. They've still been doing a very good job, and something they even have been teasing has been like a Power Rangers type of what do you call it, partnership.
Like a crossover type thing.
Yes, and they just actually posted in this community crunch again, like coming soon, and they had like a Quetzal or a Tapajara and different things like into like the mega robots from Power Rangers. So I'm going to assume that will also cost money, but
Let me go get my credit card. I'll be right back. God, that's so cool. See, that's what ticks me off is like, I want to be Mr. Boycott and be so tough and I want to be edgy and cool. But then they do stuff like that and I'm like, oh, I want a Mega Ranger Quetzal. I want to have some Gundam battles with Quetzal suits.
yeah, that'd be cool.
God dang it. I'm going to end up falling for the trap. And I mean,
I'm
good for them because I mean, I guess that's the counter right there. You can't make everybody happy because people are always going to be mad with the DLCs, but you got to find the niche ways to penetrate the market, I guess.
yeah, I guess so, to be honest.
Those punks.
But yeah, man, I let's kind of just get. I know we both haven't played the center a lot, but yeah, what I've seen, it's very beautiful. Like I said, still a lot of glitches, but it is what it is. I expect it, and but very beautiful and very different map. It is 2 times the size of the island. Can you believe that?
Oh, absolutely. It is 2 times the size of the island, but that's only square footage wise. If you look at, and I mean, someone's going to correct me because I'm sure that I'm not entirely being accurate here, but usable space on the center map is significantly larger in my opinion. Like it is double the square footage, but it also has more land mass. It has more things to do underwater. It has, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say it has more caves if I remember correctly. There's different areas of scenery to look at. You can literally spend 200 to 300 hours flying around and probably not find everything and not see everything that's new.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you're not wrong. I actually am looking at places to build on the PVE server for when I randomly do play here and there. And the two places I'm looking at right now, I mean, someone might have already took these, right? But the waterfall cave slash waterfall is really just a waterfall, and there's stuff back there. A
Yep.
waterfall in the redwoods,
Yep.
and the other place I'm looking at is there's an underwater bubble. At least there was for
Yep.
ASE, right?
Yep.
There's an underwater bubble that I'm looking at to build in. So we'll see.
I love that. Those are fantastic ideas. We don't have like, a whole bunch of people on the server, so there's a decent chance that you'll be able to get into those spots. I've said them before, so, diligent viewers have heard it in the past where I plan to go, but at this point, now that the server is live, I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest. There are 2 bases that I'll be building. They're both going to be primary bases, and they are both on polar opposite sides of the map. And I am going to be going really hard in the next couple days just to make sure that I can secure those areas.
I think that's a great idea. I have seen an influx in players on our server, um, just on the center coming out, and everyone's happy because we didn't deliver on our thing that we said that we were going to do scorched. So we did the center instead, and everyone's been enjoying that lately. So shout out to everyone that has been playing our servers because you guys are amazing, and we're glad that you guys like the server. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly so like and I don't this is going to come out bad because like we didn't deliver on a promise, but I'm honestly happy that we didn't because if we had purchased the scorched earth, like we wouldn't have gotten the center probably cuz we would have just invested in it. So I honestly wouldn't be nearly as excited and wouldn't be like trying to come back as much as I am if we had scorched earth instead. Just doesn't do it for me.
Which is 100% understandable. And we have wyverns on our server. Scorch kind of provides really just wyverns and mantises, and BC has been doing an amazing job at incorporating those. Rock golems now spawn on the island where gigas spawn, so you can find those now on the island on our server.
That's pretty cool. Those are not easy to tame, so that's actually pretty awesome to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, so make sure you guys go type that in. It's Stranded Survivors official podcast there. Just Stranded Survivors, you type it in. It is password locked, but our password is on our Discord. And, make sure you guys go join. We actually have a very active community inside. We're kind of getting everyone going here. And just our community, just in the Discord and different things, the people chatting it up every day, even when Matt and I are not chatting it up every day. You know, Shout out to all you guys. You guys really make the podcast what it is.
Absolutely. Couldn't do without you folks. Well, Jerry, what's up next? What do we have for these fine folks? The anticipation is killing them.
The anticipation is really killing everyone. So, sadly, okay, this episode, I do want to do something. So, I kind of have some new ideas for content creator of the week, okay? And I'm going to just kind of, do it out here live with you, and we'll kind of have the conversation here just really quick. Maybe not make a decision. I just want to let you know kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So, for content creator of the week, there's kind of two things that I want to do. So, right now, we just do a content creator of the week, and it's just that's it. We just say their name and what we've been enjoying about their videos.
They
Okay.
make movies.
And something that I am potentially thinking about that we could do, right, is one, we make like a little, for say, like congratulations post on X or Twitter, right? And be like, hey, you know, congrats, this person got week one, and we'd like take their logo and put it on and like have a little template for that, right? And so I think that's one really cool idea we could do.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be down
And
for that.
And then the other thing with that, which I think this would actually make Content Creator of the Week more viable and actually have people excited for it, right? So, for example, if we were to do our man Netty the Noodle for like the fifth time, because that man just releases banger videos, okay? And I was like, and we have, 5 questions that we ask them to just, give us back a recording of whatever. Or honestly, we can just be like, hey, just give a little video to our community on just like that, just so this is the award you got. So we could either ask them questions, like, like 5 questions that they answer to us and we put it in the podcast, or we can just have them just send back whatever they want.
Hey, I like that. Either way, I mean, that's pretty solid. It reminds me of like when they do the guest questions on Jeopardy for my American viewers.
So, yeah, that's just kind of something I think. So, with that said, though, I do want to skip it this week because I want to come that back with a bang. I want that to be, a thing that people really want to and come to the podcast to enjoy.
Absolutely. I think that it's kind of our mission to, at this point, help the community grow, and that not only means our community, but the art content creator community as a whole. We've seen quite a lull, and in all honesty, there was we saw that big exodus where everybody was leaving and giving up on art, going to Pal World, going to all sorts of other games. So I would like to, continuing to tip my hat to the people that have not turned their back on art.
Yeah, honestly, me too. And that's something that I'm really looking forward to do with that is just highlighting those people and, just kind of praising them for what they've done.
For sure.
And then something that I wanted to add is I've actually heard this a lot, and I'm not good at remembering. I actually have a terrible memory, okay? But what happens, I've had it asked a lot, and people want stories, right? People want our, what happens to us in the game. They want more like funny stories, scary, whatever it is. They just want more stories about our Ark experience. And, that does flow naturally sometimes, which is good. Whatever. But also something that we could do is like story of the week, right? We could do like, you tell the story one week or something, or you know what I mean? Like we just have like a story time for say. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to come up with some fun name for it, but I completely agree. I think that would be good. There's always something to talk about, especially now that, we've got the center out and we're both playing consistently. There's going to be shenanigans that are happening consistently. I mean, I've only been on for 10 minutes and I'm already having shenanigans. So more than like 30 minutes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, I think that's a good idea. And then I think we talk about who's that Dynamon. We asked a while ago, got a little bit of feedback, not a bunch. So we talk about if that's a viable thing to do. I just want to change some things up. See what people like.
Yeah, I feel like, that might hit a fun spot for my fellow 90s babies, but, correct me if I'm wrong, but I still am not convinced that too many people care too much about that segment.
I agree with you. So we will see. But yeah. And then what else was I going to add? Oh, I'm going to make this work no matter what. So I'm going to say it here live on the podcast, even though I've talked for the last 5 minutes about my ideas. And sorry, it's not just about Ark. It's just about the podcast a little bit here too, Got to add it in.
Okay.
And something that I was thinking about. Yeah, I just want you to know I totally lost my memory, but I'm going to figure it out here in just a second what I was going to say.
Holy crap, the anticipation. I'm over here like holding my breath in the edge of my seat, got my britches all in a bunch, and I'm like, oh man, it's going to be some crazy idea. I can't wait to hear what he's going to say. Oh, geez, Rick, I really can't wait.
Okay, so something that I want to make happen, events on our server. in the Discord. Events, events, events. That's what I want to happen. I want to engage more with the community instead of just being, you know, through the podcast or through just the Discord. Like, I just want to engage more with our community.
I agree. We need to get events going, and now that we have more people, like there were, we got double digits that are playing between the two
Yeah.
servers, and I mean that's more than we've had in the past. So now that we have those numbers, we're getting to the point where we can start to organize some pretty fun things here. So back in the day, we talked about raptor races, we talked about jousting tournaments. There's like we could do an Iron Man, like triathlete type of thing. There's all sorts
Yeah,
of fun stuff we could do.
I agree. Hey, Matt, but something I'm going to put you on the spot here. I said I wanted to do a story of the week. You have just even a quick little story from any time in your Ark experience that you want to share with people.
Oh man, see, I play in the center. I have so many things that have been like flooding back into my memory that I forgot happened as I'm sort of moving around the spots in the map. Um, Gosh, some of the ones that are most prominent to me would be the one where I told the story about how we were all waiting to claim the rock elemental, and we had one of our buddies swoop in with a pteranodon like torpedo roll and push everyone out of the way so we claim it. I've already told those ones.
Yep.
Gosh, I talked about that same elemental falling off the raft and being stuck at the bottom of the ocean for all eternity. Gosh. um there was one time, I can't remember if I've told this story or not, but we went on the most elaborate long-term revenge scheme. This kid incited us, and we did not let it go to the point where we created alternate gamer tags. We got back into the kid's tribe, and we took all of our stuff back. So we reverse incited this
Oh.
kid, and we were nice about it because he started it, and we did not destroy anything. We didn't take anything. We didn't drop anything. We didn't take anything that wasn't ours to begin with. We just got our stuff back and proved a point. And we told him, because like at the last second, right, once we got our stuff back, and my buddy had left the tribe, left the server, and I was just sitting there, and we're distracting the kid. And he's like, "What's going on? What's happening? What's going on?" We get into a party with him, and one of our buddies, he starts talking, and the guy immediately identifies us. He goes,
Oh.
"Oh no." And he's like, "Just don't take anything, guys. Come on, I'm so sorry. Just don't take anything." And it was on the center in like the back corner of the map, like the way south part, where the redwoods connect. There's like these giant ramps that go down to the ocean. And this kid, one of my buddies, jumps on the back of his like prized Bronto. The kid was a psycho about his Bronto. Like nobody was ever allowed to touch it, and if it was ever moved, it was like the Spanish Inquisition about who touched it, why, what were you doing, what did you do with my 712 Mijo berets? And he was just one of those overbearing people. And my buddy jumped on the back of this Bronto and flat out rode it off the cliff into the ocean and swam it out as far as he possibly could, and then just jumps off and
No.
a megalodon eats him. And this kid is like squeaking at this. His voice is cracking. He's gone up like 7 octaves. This grown man sounds like he's about 9 years old because he's like screaming at us so loud. And watching him panic and try to figure out how to swim the Bronto back across the map, it's not my proudest moment, but it was revenge served cold, and it was humorous to me.
That is hilarious.
Moral of the story, don't inside me. I take a grudge to that, and I'll get you back eventually if you're worth my time. But if you're not worth my time, then good riddance.
Man, that's great. See, that right there. That's the stories people want to hear. So I'm hoping people will like that segment, even though it kind of is, put in there just because, and it's not a natural flowing one. But I hope people do enjoy that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll still tell stories as they come up naturally, but I think that it would be good to dedicate, some time to be thinking as we're playing of like, oh boy, this would be a moment people would appreciate. We just got to pay more attention, I guess,
Yeah, I agree. So Matt, we talked a little bit about the center, a lot about potential things that could be coming for stranded survivors here.
Yep.
Is there anything else that you kind of want to tell people?
I I just want to make the bold statement and say that we're going to be more consistent in our posting because it has been a busy summer and we both have had a lot of things going on, with school going on and stuff. I'm awful busy too, but I would like to say on record that we are going to get back, hopefully, to consistent weekly posting. I'm getting to a spot where I'm, getting ahead in my classes to where I can help with the editing. So hopefully this will be the last time that we apologize for a delay in posting.
That is definitely the plan, and I definitely hope that we can do that, and that is 100% our goal. Do that.
Absolutely.
So, kind of wrapping things up. We still got to do, our Patreon people. So shout out to our Patreon subscribers. And, we still got to do the question. Was something that I wanted to do as a high point, I would say low point or something. I don't know what you want to call it, but for Stranded Survivors, is the high point is we got 100 Discord members, Matt.
Halfway there, halfway through the year.
That's not bad at all.
No, that's awesome. And I'm glad to see that the numbers are increasing because, like you had mentioned earlier, the conversations that are happening are awesome. It's nice to see people, meeting each other, and it's nice to see the good morning texts. I feel like we have a good community going here.
Yeah, me too, honestly. And, the low point, right, is we're halfway through, which we're only halfway through, the year. Still not made the community crunch. But we're going to. Somehow, some way, we're going to make it there.
Yeah, we gotta... I mean no disrespect in my lack of ability to remember, but I know we have a wildcard employee, like a community manager person that's in our Discord. So we had at one point inquired about them being willing to entertain us for an interview. So maybe it would be about time for us to follow up on that and see if that's going to be a possibility,
Yes, I definitely think that's a good question to ask them, to be honest. Or, if they're listening, they're still in our Discord and stuff. So if you're listening, let us know if you can do an interview or whatnot. And yeah, we're going to get more interviews, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and, I want to also, make the formal announcement that the interview's not a witch hunt. We're not, going to ask the difficult questions that you don't want to answer. We're not going to, we're not here to make a stink. We just genuinely want to make a connection. So don't be afraid. We're not here to attack. Jericho, you got anything else for everyone this week, or do you think it's about time that we send them on their merry way?
No, if you want to, actually, I'll do the question, and then if you want to do the Patreon people, or do you want to do that first? I really don't care.
Yeah, let's do the patrons or the patrons. They deserve it. They deserve to go first. They're more important.
I agree.
So it has been a hot minute since I have had the opportunity to do this segment. So Jericho, please fill me in if I am missing anything, but I would like to say a very strong thank you to our Helena's Angels tier, which would be Hop on Ark, as well as Gabriel. And then I want to say thank you to, I forget what the name of the tier is, but what's his name? Is it Michael?
Mike, yep.
Mike. Yeah, thanks, Mike. What tier is he?
He is Dung Beetle.
Dung Beetle, we appreciate you, man. Thank you, guys. You patrons, once again, helping out by supporting the center server as well as the giveaways and, all that fun stuff that we're bringing back to the community. So we appreciate you guys and your support.
And we also appreciate because, Matt might have forgot someone called Drew. Drew, thank you. Helena's Angels, we appreciate you.
Oh, how did I forget Drew? Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, Drew.
Yeah, Drew, Matt owes you an apology. If he doesn't send you an apology on Discord, just let me know. Send me a message, and I'll send him to our manager, also known as me.
Oh, no, please. I don't want to have a meeting with HR. But am I going to be cornered and asked for foot pictures again? Because I don't want to apologize. Because last time I apologized to somebody, they asked me for foot pictures.
But okay, so the question that we asked was, well, the poll last week, or well, like 2 weeks ago now, was best day to post a podcast. And then the question for last week was, I'd say last week, but 2 weeks ago, was how can we improve the podcast? And who would have guessed who answered first, Matt?
Hail Hydra!
That's right, Hail Hydra. And maybe this is where I got the idea, okay? But Hail Hydra goes, an adventure of the week, like a PvP story, Jericho, or how you failed to live in the water, Matt. LOL. Also, I meant to... Also, I meant to say Godzilla against Mechzilla, not Tokyo SOS, my bad. Also, his mix is on Spotify. Do you remember he was doing like a little art, like a little music mix?
Oh, yeah.
So that is on Spotify for anybody to go check that out. And then Will the Thrill has been a consistent supporter also. Honestly, all these people have been really consistent supporters as of lately. I'm just going to say all their names because, they did it, but I'll say their names again after. Will, The Thrill, Blaze, XGN, Ariane, Jude, Drew, Preacher, Hop, and then Gabriel. But we'll go through that.
MVPs.
Yeah. Okay, and then we got Will the Thrill. First off, glad y'all are doing good, even if it means busy. Possibly post on Twitter just once a week besides the new episode posts. Keep calm, don't stress, and keep doing a great job, you two.
Appreciate you, man. That's awesome.
So, yes, thank you, Will. And then Blaze goes, so this is my first response to your podcast. I personally think y'all can improve the podcast by adding more guests. And when Matt is busy, add a PvP segment for the small but mighty audience.
Those are both very good points. I am always appreciative of ways to improve and make things more enjoyable as a listening experience. So definitely all for it. We talked earlier about getting more guests on. I don't remember if that was on mic or not. Was that Jericho?
Yes, it was.
Perfect. Okay. So, yep, we're working on it. I'm here for you, and I completely agree.
And then Ariane. Yep, you already know I said it wrong as always. Improving the podcast is hard to do, in my opinion. You guys already got great ideas for the future, and the more experienced listeners here give great suggestions. Love you guys, and keep it up.
Thanks, man. I love you too.
And then, question that was answered actually like 3 weeks ago was somebody asked. So Jude asked for a tier list, and I asked what tier list. And then so Jude said, "Can we get like a harvesting dinos tier list?" And I think that's a great idea.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yep.
So that will be coming soon.
Sure will. Great suggestion. Thank you.
And then this is where. Yep, okay. And then Drew goes, once a month, do an episode inviting some members from Discord or Patreon to talk about our favorite dinos or things about the game we enjoy the most, letting the community join in on the fun.
Yeah, also a fantastic idea that I think we're both on the same page that we are all for that.
Yeah, I definitely want to have that community engagement and would love to do that with anyone. So if really, honestly, if anybody wants to do that and wants to be the first one, hey, message Matt or I, to be honest. And we can set that up.
Yeah, we sure can. I mean, shucks, I'll even set it up for next week if you want.
Hey, you never know. And then we got Hop here. Crisp discussion is good. One of the best things you all did was the otter debate that kind of went off topic, but it added a lot of fun reality to the discussion. More of that? Yeah.
More arguing about otters? You son of a gun, I'm in.
No, definitely not more arguing about otters because we already know that otters are not S tier.
Well, I'm sorry, you mispronounced our S tier. Sorry.
I just want you to know really quickly, I know that's kind of been like the fun thing forever in the Discord as of recent, because like Hop said, that really did bring a big spark. And I just want you to know, like last week when was reading some of the Discord comments or so, it was maybe 2 weeks ago, and somebody said, yeah, the otter, or I think Hop brought up the joke about the otter, and then somebody says, yeah, S stands for suck, and then like 2 or 3 people were like, no, this is the best dino ever.
Who said it stands for suck? Because I'm about to kung fu fight them.
I can't remember who, but it was great.
Whoever that was, you and me, right now. First, I gotta deal with that fight with the wildcard executives that I've been waiting on for a while. But right after that one, you're next, punk.
So, and then Gabriel. Gabriel, first off, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in forever. Really,
Dude,
I haven't.
yeah.
I miss you, man. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been looking a lot on the Discord, but I miss you.
Yeah, for real.
So he says, "What's up, guys? I really like the podcast as it is, but like Hop said, the debate about the otter was hilarious and fun. How about interviewing members from the Discord? Him and what is it? Him and Drew must be on the same little team here.
Yeah, they're on the same page there. They're both picking up what we're laying down. So I am all for it, man. You are correct. Let us know if you want to be the first one.
Yeah, definitely. Just message one of us.
It would be tough though, cause I remember is European based, and we
Yeah.
have no issues, doing interviews with people in Europe. It just makes it tough with the time difference and all that stuff. It makes it harder. So we're here for it, but you're gonna have to be flexible.
Gonna be. It might be a little hard, but well, maybe we can make it work somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But other than that, I'm gonna say first episode back in a while. It feels like, anyways. It's been a hot minute since we've been together. But it was fun. I just Matt, I appreciate you for being with me.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I apologize for my absence lately, and like I said, I've been busting tail doing my homework and stuff like that, getting far enough ahead on the summer semester that I basically can just slack off for the rest of the summer. So, pays to work hard early on, I guess.
That's right.
And I will be here more often. So, it was fun. It was good. It was a pleasure, man. I'm happy to be back on Ark. I'm happy to be back recording. It's just I got good plans and good vibes for the future. It's going to be great.
Awesome. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Kind of, went from talking about the center to talking about stranded survivors again, because I talked about it like 2 weeks ago. So, thank you all for bearing with us here. Continue to share the Discord, the Spotify, the TikTok, whatever. Share our socials. Make sure to, comment on the question. And if you can't comment on Spotify, make sure to go comment in the Discord. And yes, thank you guys for getting this far.
Absolutely. You guys are the real MVPs. And once again, make your way into the Discord, make your way onto the unofficial servers. And if you do, give me a shout out if you see me on the server. Always looking to make connections and, party up with some people and play. So if you want to play, give us a shout and we will figure it out. We'll hopefully start utilizing the, red, green, and blue chats in the Discord so that way we can all start vibing together. But in the meantime, you guys have a great week.
Survivors, keep on surviving. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.